What will be the follow-up here?
This
Clutch
is where the
Gaming
Sona's been
continue.
banned in every previous blue side game for Team Liquid. I don't think Clutch is going to do it, and they change it up.
Okay, Xayah banned away. Remember, this is what Cody Sun played on all 3 games that Clutch Gaming played on the red side. So they ban out their own AD carry. Will they ban the Akali? Yes, Jensen will not be allowed onto this pick for the 4th time today.
I literally heard from the crowd. People are getting into Champ Select now. They're like, Akali! Back up your Akali! Yeah, it's Akali! And they're able to ban out what Team Liquid used for so many of their wins there. That does leave up the Aatrox for the first pick, though. Impact going to try his hand again.
Impact on the Aatrox. Last time around, he tried playing the Jace, tried playing one of those champions supposed to bully lane, got slammed by the Rumble from Huni. Not only failed to build a lead, but failed to even keep up as he was constantly under his turret.
I mean, Aurelia is still up.
Yep.
You would think that this is something they'd want to get Damonte back on, and the question is Aurelia and Sejuani, or just Aurelia? Or what have they planned? Top Catch wasn't even that effective for CoreJJ in the last game. Part of that was because it was against the Rumble, and he's super slow after he eats someone on a Rumble ult.
Well, they will unclog the frog here from
Yeah.
I mean, it signals that they definitely want to go for a hard CC pick, right?
Yeah.
The Rumble is not available in this game, so they know they don't have that answer to a Tahm Kench. So they're denying Team Liquid possible safety from the bottom side. They're doing more than that. They're also taking away Xmithie's Sejuani, which Team Liquid have relied on.
All right, so Sejuani locked in for Clutch Gaming. We saw this earlier on in the series back in game 1. Wasn't really what Clutch needed. Didn't find too much success with that pick back in that game. We'll see if things can change up a little bit here. But of course, picking a Tahm Kench will also help deny your opponents from having save mechanisms against heavy CC champions like that Sedge.
They may have just delayed the Aurelia because it's not something that TL have gone for basically the entire year, and they have gone for the Sona. And here's the rub. Sona Tahm Kench has been winning lane in these games. Sona Taric, though.
Look at his face!
I told you, this is the tilter. Make him play something he is miserable playing.
Oh, man.
Is that how you win?
Look at his face! DoubleLift
Is
wasn't
this
happy about
what
that
has
one.
to be done?
All right, they're
make finals?
putting coach of the split to the test here.
It's Sivir Tahm Kench against Sona Taric. So Sona Taric should pretty much never leave the turret. They are just going to be stuck farming underneath that. Let's see how the bans go through now. They know they have top laner and bottom lane locked in on the side of Team Liquid. Clutch Gaming having their bottom lane and their jungler locked in, so expect to see some solo lanes, particularly some mid lane bans coming out here, I think.
Wow. I do want to point out the actual throwback for this Sona Taric pick, though, and how specifically this is something that TL thinks they are better at than everyone else. Because even though this was a massively present pick earlier on in the year, since some nerfs, almost every team has been moving away from it. In the top 5 competitive regions on patch 9.15, it has 1 pick by Prey in the LCK. So this would be the 2nd pick on patch 9.15.
Did he win that game?
No.
Okay,
So
that's
it's yet to win on this patch in a top 5 region. But DoubleLift and CoreJJ have been the best Sona Taric I have seen. So it's not surprising to see them go it here, but it is bold.
Well, Clutch Gaming are deciding to strictly focus junglers here in the second part of the bans. They get rid of the Jarvan, get rid of the Skarner, both pretty big picks here for Xmithie. We've seen him on both these champions plenty of times. We will not see him on either one this time around. Liquid will focus mid lane like I was expecting. They're banning out that Aurelia, keeping Damonte away from it. And yes, there is Sylas banned out.
Yeah, I was thinking they are not going to let that one through once again for Clutch to be able to first pick here on the second half of draft phase. And that means they're going to have to choose some new solo laners. Will it be another spicy pick, or could they default back to a more standard 5-on-5 team fight front to back? They already have Sivir for backline.
Yeah, they're going to need to have some very quality initiation because you can't poke out the Sona.
They've defaulted. It's back to 5-on-5. It's just backline.
5-on-5. That's some poke, though. It is more speed to get in.
Yeah.
But it's going to be tough to team fight with Sona Sivir against the, with Sivir Karma against the Sona Taric.
And Clutch Gaming's composition feels very, very light on damage right now. When you look at what they've got, it's just Sivir. And that means it'll be hard to get through the shields and heal of a Sona Taric. Team Liquid, they're bringing a cannon into the mid lane. Nope, they're going to go with the jungler instead. The traditional Sejuani counter in the Trundle picked up.
Yeah, and they see it's definitely front to back team fight because with Karma locked in, even if you go AP Karma, it's not going to be the same as these explosive mid laners that Clutch have been playing before. And he's probably going to build an Ardent Sensor as well. So it's probably going to be front-to-back team fighting in the late game. What's great at that? Trundle, shredding your tanks. Corki, one of the best scaling APs from mid lane. So it's going to be a throwdown. A very
long to develop
standard and like honorable team fight.
Honorable team fighting.
Sivir though. Tristana solo lane.
Yeah. Well, now we got some more damage on the side of Clutch Gaming.
And a possible early snowball because you're looking at only late game, right? Even if you have, Karma built some AP early, it's usually a lot more late game where it groups up with the Sivir and really helps support the Sivir. But now with Tristana, you have early game options. Tristana early on can really put a lot of harassment down on things like Aatrox in the top lane. Long lane, you can try and farm the turret plates as well very quickly. Use our explosive charge on the turret after bullying out the champion. And that's a possible area for Clutch to kind of keep that fire alive.
I really do like the team composition Liquid has been able to put together, though, especially when you look that it is going to be a front-to-back team fighting team. I like the Taric in the Sona Taric. I feel like it had almost fully transitioned to Sona Tahm Kench, which was not nearly as powerful in team fights, because if people hard initiated on Sona, she would withstand some of the burst, and then you kill her 3 seconds later. Now, the Sona shield buys time for the Taric ultimate, the stuns come through, they chase down, and they continue to win the fight with the Corki. So I say Team Liquid will have a 5v5 team fighting edge, which puts the impetus on Clutch to win early.
Especially when you consider the jungle matchup. Trundle versus Sejuani. We know how easy it is for Trundle to take those resistances away, but Sejuani is the only tank on the side of Clutch Gaming. Yeah, you have a Tahm Kench. That's not going to have the economy to frontline against a squad like what Team Liquid has. And it could be very dangerous here, especially if that Sejuani is not tanky enough. Here we go, Game 5.
Liquid fans coming in strong, even in Game 5. Came into the day, many Liquid fans expected the clean sweep. The main point of contention between most people was 3-0 or 3-1. Is Clutch going to get a game? Now, is Clutch going to make finals?
I mean, I hear the Clutch Gaming cheers out here too, just as loud.
And talking about Clutch Gaming and everybody, all their fans wanting them to pop off here, we got to hear from Damonte about what he's trying to win for.
Well, I think winning the LCS title for us probably means a lot more than other teams. All 5 of us have never done that before, whereas other players and other teams kind of have experienced what it feels like to hold that trophy, And yeah, I think especially for me, I kind of want to just do this for Huni. I've been saying this for a long time in my career, but I've played with him for a long time, and I know how badly he wants to win and actually claim that title.
And I love the camaraderie between Huni and Damonte, who have played together for a very long time now. Thinking back, Huni has had very poor results in the semifinals. He usually comes into the semifinals as a favorite. In fact, what I would consider the greatest upset in LCS playoff history was when Huni was on the 17-1 Immortals team in semifinals and actually ended up losing that game
Lucian top
to TSM with Lucian top. Now they come in as the underdogs against the heavy favorites and having a chance to upset.
And whenever you bring up underdog stories and upsets and TSM, I want to throw back to, again, what I mentioned earlier on in the series. Remember, it was Clutch Gaming that was the team that upset TSM last year, made it be their first time ever missing the semifinals. This is a brand, this is an emblem that can strike fear into the hearts of teams that should, could, would, maybe might go to the finals and then can't. Clutch Gaming, we'll see if they have what it takes.
All right, Huni on that Tristana gets the early level 2. We expect him to try and pressure the Aatrox under the tower. He's doing just that. Rocket jumps in for the extra shot on the explosive charge and a huge trade.
Long cooldown on that rocket jump. Knows he's up against a jungle Trundle. So fairly weak early ganking means Huni should be able to accrue a fairly large CS advantage early on in that top lane.
Also very easy for Huni to get away from almost any of those ganks unless the pillar interrupts the rocket jump with perfect placement, but that's super hard to do.
I think it's really good bringing it up, though, as Clutch Gaming now are focusing that area with 3 members. Damonte roams over from mid as well.
Oh,
Very hard
gonna
game
make
to
this
pull
three-man
off.
dive happen. They are going to back away as soon as Xmithie shows up. This becomes so much riskier. Damonte gets a chomp taken out of him there as the pillar slightly blocks off his escape route. But considering Jensen has so many minions he has to deal with in the mid lane, that means he's not able to rotate over, and Clutch do not get punished for this.
And looking at this map overall, Team Liquid is getting shoved in early in all 3 lanes. So really, they are just playing straight up defense until they can get their items and find their first team fight once they get the Taric and the Sona ultimate online. So for an entire series where Clutch has really been the ones trying to make plays and force him over and over again, instead of Team Liquid matching their tempo, they've decided to actually go completely defensive. Expect it to come at them, try and withstand it, and then beat them later.
Xmithie will clear out this Scuttle Crab in the bottom side of the river. So far, things are going just fine here for DoubleLift and CoreJJ, having more farm, actually, than their counterparts in the Sivir and Tahm Kench. We'll see how these two continue to scale up throughout the laning phase. If they can get to that mid-game point where it becomes what you were talking about, Jatt, with too many shields and heals to burst down instantly, and then once Cosmic Radiance lands, you just have to disengage at that point.
Yeah, we'll keep track of the gold totals for the bottom laners as well, since obviously this is still the Sona taking Kleptomancy as well as starting with the Spell Thieves and getting off those extra procs as they push in the minion wave.
Yeah, Taric actually does very well with a medium amount of income. He needs a decent base mana pool so he can auto-Q every time they do an objective or group up in a team fight. So again, one of the reasons I like this combo more than the Sona Tahm Kench combo is because of how well Taric does with this early farm while Sona is building up to the completed Spell Thieves to start CSing.
And there was an interesting stat that just popped up on the screen. Aatrox versus Tristana over LCS Summer Split play, 2-0, 2 wins, 0 losses, but averaged 750 gold down at 15 minutes. So you would expect this lane to get slammed, for Huni to just completely take over early on, but turning that into a win is an entirely different matter, especially with one of these strategies, like playing an AD carry in the top lane. You have to play things a little bit differently.
I mean, we already kind of went over, though. Huni, so aggressive. He rocket jumped in for that trade, completely blind of any of the jungler whereabouts. He definitely wants to press it as far as he can go. With Team Liquid having Xmithie in place to counter the dive that was put into place, though, that actually bought them a lot of time, and it bought them a lot of even footing here for impact. Already, almost 6 minutes into the game for the Aatrox to be even CS with the Tristana. No turret plates being taken. This is actually quite well for how the early stages of this matchup can go.
Bottom side, DoubleLift and CoreJJ are going to disengage rather easily here from Vulcan, trying to walk up there with the Tahm Kench tongue. Cody Sun is half HP and no mana, so he's backing himself off here for a little bit. Does decide to eat that biscuit. That'll get him a little bit more mana to work with right now.
Yeah, early lane going just fine for DoubleLift and CoreJJ. It's really going just fine for all of TL. They have overall gold leads on the map. A lot of time was invested early for that attempted 3-man dive top lane, and Xmithie has been happily farming at a fairly efficient pace. Also, not even close to a turret plate being started for TL, and DoubleLift's going to get a very good early recall off. He'll probably be able to finish his upgraded support item and a tier with how much gold he has right now. Yeah, that's the perfect early Sona recall. That's everything you need.
Again, the early game so far, 342 gold from the Spell Thieves, plus the Kleptomancy for the Sona, doing a lot for the overall totals that people are seeing on their screen. Dragon will be given over after the reset from the Team Liquid bottom lane, though. And this is another Cloud Drake.
It's like the 7th Cloud Drake of the last 8. All right, Infernal. Infernal's coming up next.
Early Cloud over to the side of Clutch Gaming, help him move around a little bit better here, but Xmithie takes the opportunity to collect the enemy red buff on second spawn. Huni gets pulled back into the chains, and the full sweet spot combo from Impact. Now Damonte has to escape from Xmithie. Well, he hasn't even used the subjugate yet. Damonte has to get away with the flash. Jensen will continue chasing after him. Not enough damage to get the kill, but a summoner spell and sending him home is a good prize.
Yeah, they actually sent Damonte to go check on the red buff because they just took the dragon. They didn't want to give away too much, but he walks into Xmithie, who had already taken it. and deals a decent amount of damage, plus having that Summoner Spell trade. Teleport used back out to the mid lane for Damonte. See if there's any response from Lira on the bottom half.
And I like what we saw from Huni there. You saw him getting back, the recall completing right as Xmithie made his way into the top side. Huni paying respects to that enemy jungler this time around, but now Lira is going after Jensen. Stuns are going to be coming through. Chain CC is down, and first blood goes to Clutch Gaming. Impact's made his way into the fight now, looking to find some damage onto Damonte. He knows there is no flash on the Clutch mid laner. Xmithie's also hanging around the wings here in case Clutch tried to fight it, but they know better.
And that's that response we're looking for. When you blow your flash offensively, has the same effect for the enemy jungler as if you just got ganked and you blew it defensively. Because Jensen tried to chase over that Raptor pit, he actually exposed himself with the cooldown of the flash. So that's why Lira knew he could flash in there with the Arctic Assault to get the knock-up and secure the kill.
And great execution, too, interrupting Jensen's Valkyrie with the flash to make sure that there was absolutely nothing Jensen could do to escape. So Clutch Gaming have been slowly following behind in this early game, and a nice play by Lira to keep him in.
And the rest of Clutch Gaming, a few hundred gold behind their opponents. Jensen has package now too on the Corki. Remember, we always have to keep an eye on that whenever it's available in this Champions in the game, because it's so much team fight power. If you can find the opportunity to really use it, most teams are good at playing around it. Will play safe enough, but it just has to be wasted instead. DoubleLift and CoreJJ just trying to take these small, frequent trades in bottom lane, put their healing to good use. You can see they're still farming up just fine down here, as Vulcan and Cody Sun are going to be pushed back. Impact continuing to push towards the turret here. Huni could find himself getting dove. Jensen takes the package in between the turrets, but now Damonte's made his way into the fight as well. Xmithie has to flash away to avoid that route, and Clutch Gaming stopped the dive.
Yeah, good follow. You can see on the mini-map there as Clutch were trying to respond to the move up top side, following on the back inner line, and they're able to get there in time to defend it. Getting the flash actually out of Xmithie is a decently big advantage, since Lira had to blow his to go for the offensive play.
Besides that play, though, Impact has been doing a very good job in this lane, landing most of his sweet spots on Huni at Huni's auto attack range. But if he gets too aggressive, he could lose his flash. Vulcan on the roam.
Ooh, Huni tried to go in there, but a nice deny knockup from Impact. Vulcan showed up as well, and Clutch Gaming just can't get anything. If Huni could have made the jump, he maybe could have flashed behind and made a Tristana insect play, but not today.
And we'll see if that health pool matters here, because Huni took a big chunk as they're going for their classic 10 to 11 minute Rift Herald. Everyone roams up to try and take this down.
Clutch Gaming knows how they like to play League of Legends, but so does Team Liquid, who are now moving in to stop it.
TL has Taric and Sona ult. This is actually what they've been waiting the previous 10 minutes for, as a fight. TL might actually get this Rift Herald.
TL should have control over it for now. Clutch has to decide if this is worth fighting over, potentially dying over. Damonte fires off the Empowered Inner Flame, but will not be able to secure anything. Vulcan is caught, and DoubleLift is on the board.
Team Liquid have noticed the pattern. They're ready with the recalls here for the swap to top side, and they close the trap shut. Catching out Vulcan, getting the Rift Herald, popping the Rift Herald, and they are going to use this to snowball.
Oh man, what a huge move by Team Liquid. As soon as they have the ultimates, they actually catch Clutch in their own game. How does Clutch come back from this one?
Clutch can't really do much to defend this tier 1 turret right now. DoubleLift and CoreJJ doing a good job of just keeping everybody shielded and healed. Shelly trying to put the last bit of work into it. Lira's going to be on the front line, looking to find some CC. Instead, he is just killed. Cosmic Radiance comes down to protect CoreJJ and Xmithie, but Clutch Gaming are not done yet. Impact will try to fight, defend his teammates as they retreat. Boomerang Blade not quite able to find the kill here. Vulcan gets a slow, but that's not enough. And Team Liquid walk away with another kill.
There is a counter push on bottom side here, and it is a Tristana, so maybe explosive charge. Huni's able to get some gold off of these turrets. That's why the top half Clutch were trying to keep Team Liquid around.
Yeah, Huni's getting at least 3 plates out of this play, which is a nice recovery for what had been a pretty disastrous series of events for Clutch. It seems like they have a little bit of indecisiveness about what to do against Sona Taric. Do they hard engage or do they not? So they end up kind of meandering in the river as they half get pulled away, and Vulcan doesn't actually flash out of the Aatrox W, which ends up costing him his life. And then again on the fight here, in defense of the turret, Lira ends up just kind of walking into the team as no one else can hard commit with him.
Yeah, these are back-to-back picks by Impact.
Yeah.
First one, Aatrox slips over the top half of that wall, able to land the Infernal Change plus the Q1 sweet spot onto Vulcan. Vulcan does a flash, they get the kill. Second one, he does onto Lira, they get another kill.
Jensen starting the 1v1 against Huni down here, but it won't be 1v1 much more. Vulcan and Xmithie have both shown up, and now CoreJJ tries to disengage from Damonte's tether. He gets stunned up there at the very end, but with DoubleLift and Impact nearby, there's no real kill threat just yet.
The early cooldown on Taric ultimate is very long, however, so this Infernal Drake is something Clutch Gaming could actually look to take if they're able to get back to lane after these recalls. I think Huni taking so much damage on that turret might end up giving TL the Drake, so another win for TL.
Yeah, 2 members back in base for Clutch Gaming with Tahm, Kench, and Tristana, so Team Liquid will get the objective. They can push on the turret as well. Teleport to the top side for Clutch puts Cody Sun in a position on the Sivir to try and trade maybe a turret plate.
And in game number 4, we talked about how so goes the early game, so goes the game. That's been the story of this series so far, and Team Liquid is just smashing this early game so far. Look at the gold lead, especially bottom side. You add these gold values together, it's 9K on the side of Team Liquid. Put them together over on Clutch Gaming, it's 7,000. That's a 2K lead for this double support lineup from the side of TL.
There you go. Thesis put to the test from
Well,
Champion Select.
It's going really well for Team Liquid here so far at the beginning of the game. Plates finally go down. Still about a 2,000 lead for the team overall. Cody Sun trying to back away from Impact. Doesn't want to deal with this 1v1. Not when Impact has had the good early performance he has had so far. Huni tries to keep pushing up in the bottom side. He knows he only needs 2 auto attacks on that turret, but Jensen will not let him get them.
And this is fairly similar to how TL won Game 3 in terms of overall pace of the game and not forcing anything. They're taking the small advantage where they can get them, and they're capitalizing when Clutch Gaming move into a spot and try for a play.
Monte gets himself away from trouble. Now Jensen is absolutely deleted. Nice damage in CC from Quad.
Oh my goodness, Jensen thought that he was safe because he has the package, but you have to activate the package to get that CC immunity, and he doesn't use it quick enough. As he sees the Sejuani ultimate come out of the brush from Fog of War, not enough reaction time there for him. He doesn't activate it, he goes down from 100 to 0 within that stun duration, opening it up for Huni to get back down bottom and finish off that turret.
Exactly. The Jensen anti-fun police for Huni have finally had to go back to base, and that means he can grab that turret. That's Clutch Gaming's first turret, the first turret overall in the game. Extra money in the pockets of Clutch for that one helps alleviate some of this early lead that Liquid had built for themselves. Scuttle Crab spawning in the bottom half of the map here. Xmithie will try to take care of that one as Jensen goes back to bottom lane farming duty. You can see no first item still completed onto Huni's Tristana, trying to work towards the Blade of the Ruined King, but decided to stop off real quick for an Executioner's Calling first, which is an incredibly valuable item in this game specifically.
And I'm so happy this is Game 5 Flowers, because normally 2 kills to 2, 60 minutes, you think boring. In Game 5, I think tense, because any moment could actually decide the series. And when we think about both of these teams being front-to-back team fighting compositions, I think this game's going to come down to those mid and late game team fights. So when Jensen gets picked off like that, you wonder, will he be able to dodge the initiation at the end of the game? Because if Jensen actually gets picked off like that in an end-game team fight, the damage for TL goes away, and they lose the series. So because it's so close, I'm just looking forward to the tension that we're going to get in late-game team fights.
Yeah, completely agree. Plus, I really like your point, Captain Flowers, with the Executioners, because if you look down the healing on Team Liquid,
It's everywhere.
it's insane. It is everywhere. And Executioners is so good. It applies on any physical damage. So your ricochets, your boomerangs, everything from Sivir can get that application. And you want to tag every single one of these champions because a lot of them are going to have a lot of value from that stat. Here we go, though, chasing down on Huni. He knows he's been had, and he's teleporting out to the opposite side.
He was thinking a lot more were coming, but he's going to use that pressure on the other side of the map.
Clutch Gaming says, who cares? We know they want to pressure onto the bottom side. Let's just not deal with them. If they want to have these death ball team fights, we'll go somewhere else. And where they're going right now is straight to the top side tier 2.
4 members rotating over. Look at the mini-map, too. They're going to get there quicker. About 50% of the turret here taken by Huni and his explosive charges. Bottom side, though, Jensen is answering for Team Liquid. They're just trying to delay here as he continues to push on the turret with his Trinity Force.
Another thing to track with these Sona Taric teams is the fact that they have access to 2 sight stones. So it is harder for Clutch Gaming to make those surprise moves across the map and it is harder for them to get surprise team fights. So normally you can only ward one side of the map, and you have to move your pressure around. Here, TL actually has decent vision coverage on both the bot side of the map, and they still have a littering of wards towards their blue side. So even more difficult for Clutch to move through the map.
Clutch Gaming trying to respond to what Team Liquid are putting down, though. It is hard to do a tall order when you're up against a team that has been so dominant for the past couple of years, really, in LCS play. But Clutch Gaming, they've had their ups and downs. They've been a team that was bottom of the list, then they moved up to the middle of the ladder. Now, sort of having this surge, as you already talked about earlier, Jatt, with the new coaching staff coming in, the team sort of finding their comfort, how they want to play the game, and it's been working so far.
And one thing that Clutch have over Team Liquid in this game with their team comp is the Sejuani long-range stun possibility for picking people off. Right. Team Liquid have gotten 2 with Impact having some very good plays on Aatrox, but that is so unreliable. That should not happen. You know, towards the mid-game, Aatrox getting in range for the Q1 knockup and Infernal Chain. It's so much easier for Lira, for Clutch, to try and find those picks with the Sejuani. That's what they have to do, because right now, Team Liquid focus on objectives. They're holding the top and mid with their 2 damage dealers, and they slip over, they take the quick dragon to accrue the extra scaling damage from Infernal.
Cloud for both sides now as Team Liquid will keep defending their mid lane. Clutch Gaming will continue trying to push up, lay down some of these wards, clear out the TL vision, but it's just so hard when there's so much of it from those 2 sight stones. When you're looking around at inventories, I want to keep an eye on, where are those stopwatches? I can see one on Xmithie, I can see one on Vulcan. So watching those as the next team fight could show up. Summoner spells are also online pretty much across the board. A TP down for Huni, a TP down for DoubleLift. That's it.
You'd think they'd go for him, but there's pressure on the other sides of the map. Maybe they opt not to.
I think either they
should have seen it.
Either they didn't see it, or like because it didn't touch anything and they don't have vision.
It might not have played a particle, yeah.
Because he's in the brush on the control ward, maybe.
Red team's turret.
Even though it's not intuitive because it is his sword. It is like a long melee ability. All right, bottom side though, prepping possible move from CG.
Cody Sun uses the ulti to get himself away. Huni's going to continue pushing down here in bottom lane. Control ward over the wall going to be cleared out by Lira. Vulcan ends up finding more than he bargained for here, waiting in the brush on the backside of red. Him and Lira both going to get out there with a blast cone. Huni's also backing up here bottom side, clearing out the Krugs as he leaves.
Yeah, TL winning this pressure game, Jensen getting a lot of side lane pressure down, and also DoubleLift and CoreJJ doing a good job to make sure the wave is pushed even if they don't have the best wave clear choices. And Kobe, we talked about Lira's ability to find picks in the mid lane, but if TL stay grouped, they'll have so much burst resistance that Clutch Gaming is really going to have to commit to a kill. And the make or break there could end up deciding the game. If they do kill someone before the Taric ult comes down, then maybe they plow through for the rest of the fight. But if they just miss it, TL will have so many chase tools after the fact with Trundle Pillar and Sona Speed. It could be disastrous.
Well, I got good news for you, Jatt, because they're all grouped up around mid lane, trying to make the push as a team.
Here they go.
Over the wall. There comes your initiation.
Not even
Finding it
close.
onto Jensen, but yeah, they don't decide to go any further for it because they didn't have Huni yet. He was still in the way.
Yeah, Clutch have sustained damage. They don't have burst. So both the Sivir and the Trist have to really be hitting down for a long fight.
Vulcan flashing away. DoubleLift really going to be killed, but now the fight could go either way. Lira is also going to be in some trouble. Exhausted off the side. Still looking to run back in. Nice stopwatch coming out from Xmithie. CoreJJ very low. Liquid very low. Lira very low. Damonte still looking to find some more. On to Jensen. Root not going to connect. Boomerang blade flying off to the side. Cody Sun not going to grab much yet with that. Vulcan with a good save, but now he could be in some trouble himself. His stopwatch going to be doing some work. Huni's getting away. Clutch Gaming under pressure. They lose 2. Jensen gets the damage.
And look how long these fights are going! The sustained output from Team Liquid. Impact makes the flash play on Aatrox once again. The point man for the team.
And now what can Team Liquid continue to do? They have so much experience in these long, drawn-out fights, playing more Sona than pretty much any other team in the world. Watching this, the patience of CoreJJ, not using his Taric ult until very late in the fight, until they
That looks like burst damage to me.
Hey, if they had burst, he'd be dead, Kobe. That's sustained. Overall, though, Jensen does tag most of the team. or sorry, CoreJJ does tag most of the team in the ultimate, and a wayward Q here by Cody Sun.
And you can see actually in the replay there, they kited out the Taric ultimate pretty much the entire duration. Yeah. It's the re-engage from Impact that catches Vulcan. Then he goes for the flash Q3 and sets it up for Jensen and DoubleLift to finish up with the damage on the backline.
And this is a 5,000 gold lead now for Team Liquid. They are sitting comfortably ahead of their opponents. 2 Drakes compared to 1. They've got the turret advantage 3-2 now as well. And with Baron on the map, they're able to put down so much vision around it. There's a lot of pressure on Clutch Gaming to respond to this, or at least be in a spot where they can.
Yeah, those are the exact team fights that we are talking about in Champ Select when we're looking at these 2 team comps and talking about front to back and this quote-unquote honorable team fight style where you both see all other 5 members just trying to continually poke out and re-engage on each other. Able to find that last window. Now it is Team Liquid moving in the line of wards. You talked about the extra Sightstone here. Full wards behind Baron. Dragon also coming up, so they have some more for the rest of this objective as well. And that means with Team Liquid controlling the vision, they have all the extra information to work with, plus the extra gold.
Yeah, and that gold is being spent for some really powerful items. Jensen at 40% CDR and some crit coming in with the Zeal. He's the one who's going to pump up the sustained damage in team fights. But even DoubleLift having his Lich Bane completed, now also being able to pack a punch. And that's before Huni has completed IE or Cody Sun has completed IE. So until you see those Infinity Edges on Clutch Gaming, there is a massive power gap between the 2 teams, which means TL can look towards Baron and look towards forcing some plays.
TL, so scary in these moments. Remember back to what we heard from Damonte talking about how players on the team, a lot of them don't have that same experience winning titles and being at that top echelon of play for the LCS. Well, one thing that comes with winning those titles is being in Game 5 situations plenty of times before. Team Liquid knows what this feels like, and they're way more comfortable in this kind of an environment.
All right, I think it's up to Clutch Gaming to utilize especially the Sivir and Karma speed to navigate these team fights. Right now, they're getting closed in on, actually. Huni runs into Impact, and the rest of the team goes to the jungle.
Huni's got himself the Blade of the Ruined King, trying to outplay this, kited around. A lot of damage coming out. Lira's able to make his way in, and that is a 1-for-0 going the way of Clutch Gaming. But meanwhile, it's Team Liquid pressuring mid.
Huge outplay by Huni right there to get the kill as Lira collapses down, because really, I still think Clutch is trying to buy time. Yes, they'll need the Sivir Karma speed later, but they need their items on their marksman. They don't have them yet. Getting that pick on Impact and putting them on that 40-second death timer buys them a lot of time.
Damonte will repel this push in the top side here now as well, taking care of those range minions, pushing Jensen back yet again. Jensen's Corki, very scary, but when he's alone, you take out those minions, he's still going to be forced to retreat. Clutch Gaming, they know they have the man advantage on the map here for another 10 seconds or so. So Team Liquid probably won't be looking for any big fights until they've got Impact back. Clutch will try to move out, throw down a couple of wards here in this neutral territory, in this river.
All right, take another look at this one. Impact walking right into Huni, knocks him back first with the Buster Shot, jumps out of the Infernal chain there with the rocket jump, and knowing that Lira is on the way, just smooth ultimate there once again from the Sejuani. That range with the hard CC allows them to tip some of these close plays.
And there's the item you were talking about, Jatt. The Infinity Edge coming online for Marksman is a big deal. Huni gets his off of that outplay.
That's 1 Infinity. They need 2 Infinities and beyond.
All right, we're there now. Let's see if they can go full Space Ranger on him. Take this one all the way to the winner's circle. They do have plenty of farm on both these AD carries. Jensen's still going to keep pushing up in the bottom lane. Level 16 on this Corki. Scariest man on the map.
TL still stronger. Clutch would have to get a good pick at the start of these team fights, but at least they have a chance now with these 2 Infinity Edges. Rapid fire cannon, huge for Jensen.
Jensen goes in really far, and he's killed. What in the hell was that?
That was a rapid death, my friend. Packages right into Huni,
man.
And Huni lets him know what's up with the Tristana.
Woo, we heard earlier in the series that Jensen had more confidence now in these series after getting a title.
That's his thing.
He
went right into the entirety of them.
It's exactly the type of play that used to curse Jensen away from titles. Now he needs to rely on the rest of TL to come back. That was a huge mistake by Jensen in this big moment.
Can we get a pro view replay on that one?
Oh, no.
All right, let's take a look at what Clutch can push on afterwards. Tristana on your bottom of your map right now gets it into the tower and rotating up through the jungle as well. Clutch Gaming now trying to defend.
Vulcan will not allow himself to get CC'd here. Goes ahead, pops the cleanse to get away from that one. The cleanse was invoked by the Summoner's Spellbook. Huni on the side, just in case Team Liquid wanted to go after him there, he would be able to provide some backup, some covering fire. Team Liquid will move back out into neutral territory on the map, keep sweeping these wards away, putting down more and more of their own. But back on that play, I guess I can understand what Jensen is going for. Here we go.
Here's what he sees.
He sees him all right.
Let's go for Huni.
So he goes straight to the package. Oh, Damonte's in the bush. Oh my goodness.
Didn't see the karma in the brush.
Yeah, you know you have,
we learned.
you know you have teammates nearby, and I guess you're expecting some healing, some shielding, all sorts of good stuff. But it was just so reckless from Jensen.
Yeah.
And he ends up paying the price for it. Vulcan forced to flash away. Nice expenditure of the Summoner spell there. Team Liquid forcing that out.
Yeah, and Flowers, Jensen cannot do that again in this game. He is the majority of their teamfight damage. He needs to consistently stay back, use his 40% CDR, get rapid fire hits off, use his missile barrage over and over as Sona and Taric buy time. If he does that at the start of the fight, Clutch is going to Sivir ult, Karma speed in, and wipe TL.
Oh, this could turn bloody real fast.
Here we
Team
go.
Liquid's walking forward. Stun's able to find his way onto a couple of different targets. Cosmic Radiance coming down. Vulcan's going to be bursted. He's out of the picture, and Team Liquid have 1 for 0. But can Clutch find anything else? Taric ulti down means even 4v5. If they're able to find an angle to shoot, they might get something. They found Cody. He flashes over the wall. He'll stay alive, but Clutch Gaming is on the retreat. Cody still no flash available. Remember, he just used it. They're not able to catch up to him, and that means Clutch Gaming have to go back to the base, and Team Liquid with Sona Taric, you've got unlimited HP for taking Baron. They're into the pit.
You touched on it after the last play, Jatt, when Jensen jumps in and, well, never mind. We might have a fight around the Baron as Damonte goes to
stop
face
it,
check.
but this is a death ball by TL.
There's no way you stop this. They have full HP. It's Sona Taric.
They're just trading mid lane turret here. Huni is going to get that one for Clutch. And that is a big price to pay for the Baron buff. Team Liquid so happy about how that last pick went for them. They just sat on the vision, are able to make the charge here. Look at that pillar, forces so much of its separation.
And TL know how to utilize the death ball with the death cap now on Sona. The size of those shields when they start these fights. Now with a Baron buff as well. Each Lich Bane Q auto by DoubleLift will be half of a non-tank's health. They're going to look to maybe even try and take the game in this push.
Team Liquid is looking real scary right now. Remember, this would be their 4th consecutive trip to the grand final, their 4th potential consecutive trophy in the LCS. Jensen will keep pushing topside. Tier 2 falls. Clutch Gaming will have to make their defense here at the base. Tier 2s are down in mid and top. Inhibitor turrets will be under pressure. Huni tries to grab the damage. DoubleLift has some follow-up. The shield will keep Huni alive. The burn doesn't take him out.
Just barely. Huni now runs back to the fountain. They don't have long. The minion wave crashing here with the Baron buff. Cody Sun, you can see on the Sivir. Ricochets are trying to clear out the minion wave, but the cannon's still firing away.
Damonte's doing a good job trying to keep these guys back as well. Morellonomicon plus the Inner Flame is a lot of poke, a lot of healing reduction to try to slow down the Team Liquid War Machine. Huni's made his way into the mid lane now, dealing with impact, expends the ult there, wins out in the trade. But is it enough? Team Liquid, 4 men strong, still going to be pressuring that top lane tier 3. They're not stopping anytime soon. Vulcan's nearly killed. Xmithie's now soaking all the damage. They're still going to push forward. They're still going to make their way into the base now. Xmithie going to be healed up by the Subjugate. Clutch Gaming will lose inhibitor number 1, or will they? Team Liquid just trying to be cautious with this one. They don't want to risk the overcommit, but they'll take the end hit.
So much patience by TL, getting safe damage down time and time again. They're not incurring much risk, and they just keep powering up. DoubleLift getting closer to level 16. Jensen getting closer to a 6-item Corki, and their 5v5 just keeps getting stronger and stronger.
All right. You have to play the difficult scenario now because Team Liquid are coming to finish the job. They've got a minute left on the Baron. For Clutch Gaming, there are not a lot of areas to work with right now. So much of the map has been lit up. by Team Liquid, but they have to find an area to try and get that engage with the Sejuani ultimate and get one of those kills early. Otherwise, it's going to be another siege from Team Liquid, and they will wear you away.
I feel like the only thing that Clutch could do is land a Sejalt onto Jensen and burst him down, because there is no QSS, no cleanse, no Mikhails. So if they do land hard CC, they'd have to take advantage of that window, but it's just so hard against how well TL is grouping up.
Jensen also not even a part of the siege machine right now. He'll be continuing to play split push duty here in the bottom side. Tier 2 goes down, only 15 seconds left on Baron, but it's already been a 4,500 gold power play here for the side of Team Liquid. Clutch Gaming just trying to wait out the last few seconds of this Baron push. Huni will try to get auto attacks on to keep these guys away, but it's not going to do a whole lot, not by itself. Vulcan's going to be taken down and killed instantly. Team Liquid 5v4 for the next 30 seconds.
Yep, that inhibitor is toast. Can Clutch do it? 30 seconds left on Vulcan, but Team Liquid are coming with these super minions.
They have the Sona, they have the Taric. Cosmic Radiance is not available right now, but they feel they have the tools to go for the ending push right now. Team Liquid, after the Nexus turrets, #1 will fall here. Damage coming out from Clutch, they will try to defend. The Redemption will keep them topped off, and they will repel the Liquid onslaught.
TL has plenty of time here. DoubleLift sitting on high mana, just resetting everyone's health bars, waiting for the super minions to come in. TL does not have to leave.
Vulcan's back on the map. It is a full-on 5v5. Huni escapes what could have been a collapse there coming out from CoreJJ, but now the fight's going to be happening here yet again. Vulcan going to be taken very low. Impact in the front line. Huni's going to be stoking some damage, and Jensen's got him. That's a big one for Team Liquid.
Only one Nexus turret left, and with another member down, Clutch only have 4. Can they do it? Team Liquid coming for that victory!
CoreJJ goes for the flash into the stun on Cody Sun. He's not going to grab it, not anymore now. Vulcan is gone. Impacts into the back line. It was a valiant effort by Clutch Gaming, but Team Liquid show why they're the best team in North America.
Team Liquid pull back to Old Faithful in Game 5. Sona